Hi, it's Evan, and let's cut straight to the chase. We're 5 weeks out from the festival and value is getting hard to come by in the markets. But as the title of this video says, you cannot afford to miss this video because we've got a good one. A horse that I've considered putting up in the first few videos, a horse that I believe is still really good value within its market. If you like this video, please do press the subscribe button. Please like this video. And if you've got any thoughts, leave a comment. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So here we are, 5 weeks out from the Cheltenham Festival, and what a weekend we've just seen at the Dublin Racing Festival. Favourites losing all over the show. Facile Vega lost, Lossiemouth lost, Blue Lord lost. I didn't see any of them coming. But what it has done is it's shaken up the Cheltenham markets, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens over the next 5 weeks as we approach the festival. Let's quickly recap the 3 selections we've had so far, and then let's look at the selection for this week. So first of all, Queen's Gamble was my week 1 selection at 8-1 for the Champion Bumper. She's now moved into 6-1 and runs today as I'm recording this. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with her. I'm expecting a big performance today. Week 2, we put up Dark Raven at 33-1 for the Ballymore. Now, his chances have taken a boost this weekend as he's now into 16-1 for the race. That's mainly driven by the fact that Impere Pass is looking likely to go to the Supreme after Facile Vega's disappointing performance. So therefore, the same owners are probably likely to have Dark Raven as their Ballymore shot. He also ran really well in that Facile Vega race, staying on nicely, looked like he needed a bit further than the 2 mile distance. In week 3 last week, we put up Home by the Lee. No major changes to the Stayers Hurdle market there, but I'm still happy and excited about that selection. So this week, week 4, it's time for another selection. A horse that I've considered putting up every single week since we started this series, but this is the week to do it. You cannot miss this selection because he has a great chance at the Cheltenham Festival. That horse is 3-card Brag, currently priced at 9-1 for the Albert Bartlett Hurdle. Now I love this horse. A novice in his first season who's looked very impressive, and I think there is more to come. He's run 5 times so far, first of which was in March last year in a 2 mile flat race at Wexford where he won. And he was a 10-1 shot, so not necessarily fancy for the race, but beat a 1-5 odds-on shot of Willie Mullins. That was where the hype started to begin about this horse. In his second race at Galway in a maiden hurdle over 2 miles, beat Sandor Clegane by 6.5 lengths. Now, I don't think 2 miles is necessarily the optimal distance for either of those horses, but good form nonetheless. Third race was up to a grade 3 against Hercule de Soil and Imagine. And I actually watched that race prior to starting this video, and I can't believe how quickly he's finishing at the end. He did come third to both of those horses, but was way out the picture as they approached, the final 2 furlongs, final furlong, and absolutely steamed home like a train. Looked like he needed the additional distance, which he got in his 4th race, because in his 4th race, he was up to 2 mile 4 at Navan in a grade 2 against some really good horses and ended up finishing second to In the Pocket. Again, though, at the end of that race, absolutely stormed home. I think if there was a little bit of extra distance at the end of that race, he would have actually won the race. In that race, he finished 4 lengths ahead of Absolute Notions, who has come out and franked that form massively at the Dublin Racing Festival this weekend by finishing second to Goodland over 2 miles 6 and ahead of some good horses like Sandor Clegane, Grange Clare West, Quai de Paris, We've All Been Caught. I think that was a massive form boost and really, really ups the chances of 3-card Brag in this race. In his 5th race, Fairy House, a bit of an easier contest, just a novice hurdle, up against Spanish Harlem, beat him comfortably, but again, noticeably stayed all day. And I think you'll get the impression from what I'm saying here, that is key about this horse. He looks like he needs further than 2 mile 4 furlongs. He is entered in the Ballymore as well over 2 mile 4, but I think 3 miles is going to be his optimal distance, which is why I believe the Albert Bartlett is the most likely target for him. Now, we haven't seen entrance into handicaps yet, and therefore there is a chance he could be entered into the Martin Pipe. But I don't believe so, and from looking at the markets, I would say they don't believe so as well, because 3-cart Brad is currently 9-1 on Sky Bet Ante Post and 8-1 non-running no bet. So if you are worried, maybe take the 8-1 price non-running no bet. That's probably the sensible option, but the markets are indicating that this is the target for him. Let's now have a look at the markets on Sky Bet. Now, Sky Bet does tend to be my go-to and is the site that we've looked at in previous videos. So let's stay on here. You can see at the top of the market, Hidden Valley Lake is the current Ante Post favourite for this race and probably is the best form that we've seen so far this season. Won nicely back in December, which has led to him being at the top of the market. Then you've got Embassy Gardens at 6-1, who won well last month, winning his race by 35 lengths, but no idea what was in behind and what that form will look like, so that could be anything. Absolute Notions and 3-Card Brag are on 9-1 together. But as we've covered when we looked at the individual races, 3-Card Brag beat Absolute Notions over 2 mile 4 furlongs, and I would say would stay better over the extra half a mile anyway. I believe 3-Card Brag should be a shorter price and the form looks better there, so you know, I think that's a value boost. There's other horses in this race. Corbett's Cross has won nicely, but you know, in races where I'm not sure what he's been up against necessarily. Sandor Clegane we've touched on in race by race, where I believe 3-Card Brag has better form. You know, he's beaten him, albeit over shorter distances. And as we move through the market, you've got horses like American Mike, who was entered to run at the Dublin Racing Festival this weekend and then was pulled out before the race. You've got Hermes Allen, who won't go for this race. His most likely target is the Ballymore. He's currently the Ante Post favourite for that race. And then you're up into kind of the 16-1, 20-1 mark and above. So look, I believe 3-Card Brag is the best value for this race. But not only that, odds aside, I believe he's the horse with the best shot of winning this race. A horse I've liked for a long time, a horse who's been visually impressive, crying out for the 3 mile distance, has some great form, and I think has a great chance to win this race. So there it is. My 4th selection in this series that I'm doing is 3-Card Brag, currently priced at 9-1 for the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do press the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. Please press the thumbs up and like this video. And if you've got any thoughts, drop a comment on the video too. That would be great. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with selection 5 very soon.